Normally we don't see the original program, but this program is exceptional. It demonstrates the perfect mixture of sport and art. Particularly like the frozen position at the end of the program, allowing us to savor the magic. Marks for the technical were between 5-6 and 5-7, a little low, and for the artistic, 5-6s, 7s, and up to a 5-8. This is the original program of Gordeeva Grinkov, the reigning Olympic and world champions. Something, Ted, which is one of the sort of inside stories, and this is just a superstition in skating. Green, historically, has always been unlucky. I've never worn it, and I never worn it because I'd be afraid to wear it. Green usually falls down. I think again that might have been a small glitch in the footwork. This is not a perfect program. We're so used to seeing them skate flawlessly. But to be fair, there have been two Soviet pairs that, at least tonight, have outskated them. Another mistake. Now, there is no way that this program can win the short program. Too many mistakes. Of course, it has nothing to do with wearing green. This kind of nightmare for really great skaters usually happens once in a lifetime, and their third place marks dropped as low as 4.8 in the technical. Courageous on the part of a few judges. Worlds in Halifax will be quite a different scenario, and their skating and marks will be quite different.
Leningrad, a teeming city of...
Приглашаются Наталья Мишкутенок, Артур Дмитриев.
Now on the ice in first place after a superb original program, 19-year-old Natalia Mishkutyonok and 22-year-old Artur Dmitriev. They've been skating together for 4 years.
Natalia and Artur are a very young pair. They came up really fast. They've had a lot of trouble with consistency in the past, but they do some very innovative moves. Their opening move is side-by-side triple toe loops. She under-rotated hers and couldn't hang on to the landing.
Now, how will that affect their score?
Well, if they want to have any hope of beating Gordeeva and Grinkov, they can't make any more mistakes. Beautifully done triple twist. A throw triple toe loop. She just did one on her own. Now she's being thrown into the air, and she just stepped out of it.
To give you an idea of the depth of this Soviet pairs team, Natalia and Artur had to survive a skate-off just to qualify for the European Championships.
Throw triple style cow, and she nails it. As you can see, Natalia is very flexible, and Tamara Moskvina, their coach, uses her flexibility in a lot of their moves. Now watch the next two tricks they do. They're unique only to them. That's just great.
Leaders after the short program, Miskutjunak and Dmitriev had a shaky start, but they seem to have rallied.
Well, they recovered really well. They had that missed triple toe loop in the beginning and then there's another step out. But anytime you leave the door open for Gordeeva and Grinkov, they're going to slam it in your face. They're a young team and they got a lot of promise.
They were third in last year's European Championships. They had hopes of a higher honor this time around. So did their coach Tamara Moskvina. But the shaky start might have proved costly with the world champions yet to come.
Приглашаются Пеги Шварц, Александр Тёнин, Германская Демократическая Республика.
The next skater involved, Peggy Schwartz, Alexander Tilley, Music.
Peggy Schwartz and Alexander Koenig of East Germany, they were fourth in the original program. They're Berliners. And they were fourth in the world last year. They've chosen the Gershwin Classic as their music.
Ted, I had a chat with their teacher, Heidi Walter-Steiner, in the bus just before we came, and she said the big problem with Peggy is nerves. If they can hop on the wave and start the program well, as they seem to be doing, perhaps this can be the performance of their young lives.
Doors are being opened, I would think.
That was a real problem, and again, I feel that this could possibly cost them a medal unless they are able to skate without a mistake from here on in. That was the same double axel that Peggy missed in the short program. Just too shaky. I think, Ted, what they have now done, now there are two more pairs to go, but right now I think this program will probably end up in fourth position, which is disappointing because I know that they had hoped for a medal. There are certainly fine qualities in this pair. The spins are wonderful, and particularly the speed throughout the program is very impressive, which makes them a senior pair, but the performance already has too many mistakes to really expect one of the top medals. This was a very, very serious fall. They're to be commended if they can continue, but that, to me, looked like a very, very serious fall. Very painful fall. Now, certainly on a technical level, the program was wrought with mistakes, but something I feel has to be considered is the fact that as competitors, they fought back like true sportsmen, and many people that would have a fall as serious as the one that Peggy had, I think would really just give up and stop the performance. It's very disappointing for them, but I feel they're certainly to be admired for the kind of comeback. But you can see as the way they exit the ice that they are also very disappointed.
Первая оценка 5-2, 5-2, 5-4.
Now here are the marks, and we'd expect them to be way down, of course, and you can see they go down as far as a 5. They did have an awful lot of mistakes. However, as far as the short program is concerned, they're perhaps not as bad as we might have thought they'd be.
Вторая оценка 5-2, 5-2, 5-2, 5-0.
The second set of marks for Schwartz and Koenig, 5-2s, 5-2s, a 5. That puts them in third place in the short program, but it means there's going to be no medal, I would think. The defending European champions, rather an enigmatic pair from Leningrad. Second here, of course, in the original. We never quite know what Selesneva and Makarov are going to do.
I think it's relevant to mention as well, Seth, that Gordeeva Grinkov did not compete in the Soviet Championships, and this was the winner of that competition. And also, historically, they've always been quite lucky in European Championships and then struck out in Worlds. I take that all back. Now, what is going to happen here is that one more mistake, and the door has been opened in a tremendous way for Gordeeva Grinkov. All they're going to have to do is skate. But as you can see, it is not so easy to do that, and no one has done it so far. That was a very strong comeback, preceded by a triple twist lift and followed by 2 double axels in a row. 2 very difficult, perhaps the most difficult moves in pair skating. That was probably the best thing we've seen so far. That was an immense throw double axel and beautifully landed. Certainly one detects in the A group of pair skating the ability to cover the ice is so far superior to what one might perceive as the B group of skaters. They almost cover half the ice in one single lift. Very nice comeback. Similar in many ways to some of the performance that we've seen over the years where a skater can fall on the first jump and then come back in the way that they've come back. This is first-class skating now. There's a comedic, almost buffoon kind of approach to the skating, but one thing that cannot be denied, and that is the technical difficulty. And I think that the judges are going to have to at least cede the silver medal, at least, to them. called a hydrant lift. Very, very strong skating. Perhaps similar to their short program, which was very reminiscent of what one might perceive as being a show program. This is almost like an exhibition number, of course, chock full of very, very difficult moves. I think they're certainly to be commended for the comeback, because at the very beginning, as you saw, she fell down, and it's so difficult to come back. But this, I believe, just because of the difficulty and also perhaps the performance level, is the best program we've seen so far.
5-7, 5-8.
The first set of marks, the technical marks, 5.7s and 5.8s. There's a 5.6. It's their lowest mark, but predominantly 5.8s. By far the highest marks we have seen. And it means that Gordeeva and Grinkov are going to have to pull out the 5.9s if they're going to have to overtake Selesneva and Makarov, I would think. Let's check their second set of marks. Their artistic marks are comparable, and for most of the judges, as a matter of fact, if not comparable, a little bit higher. Those are the highest marks we've seen. They put them in first place. Soviets right now are in silver and gold positions, but still the defending world champions are to come, and there is room.
5-8, 5-7. Thank you.
Екатерина Гордеева, Сергей Климов, Советский Союз.
Well, it was quite shocking to see Gordeeva and Grinkov anything but perfect. That's what they were, however, in their original program. The door, though, is now open for them to regain the European Championship. They were not in the Europeans last year, but they are world and Olympic champions.
They don't get any better than that, Ted. That was landed as though she landed on a pillow of air. there's a very good reason why I didn't offer any commentary. It is because this was truly a performance. This was beauty and art wrought with athleticism. It's probably the most sophisticated piece they've ever done. I certainly feel that artistically it is far, far superior to the Seleznyeva-Makarov program. Very sophisticated, in fact 180 degrees away from anything we've seen. I love this performance. I really feel that it was the winning performance. There is a chance that it might have been a little bit too esoteric for either the audience or for the judges, but this pushed skating in the way that the Protopopovs, the famous Olympic medalists from the Soviet Union, pushed skating, and it is the first time that I've seen anything that is comparable to the Protopopovs. Although it might not have been quite as difficult as the Seleznyeva-Makarov program, what it had was charm and beauty and an effortlessness that made it sublime. And although there were a few tiny little mistakes, for me, truly, this was the championship and winning performance.
Первая оценка 5-9. 5-9.
Well,
5-9.
I said they'd have to fetch themselves some nines. They've got a mess of 5-9s in their first group. There is one 5-6 there, but their first marks for technical merit are far superior.
5-9, 5-9, 5-8, 5-7, 5-8, 5-6, 5-9, 5-9.
And the second group of marks, look at this, they did pull up a 6 from judge number 3 from Yugoslavia. That's the first 6 we've seen in the championships. And though they were third in their original program, we've never seen them really have to come from behind before. They did it superbly. This young Soviet couple tonight, Gordeeva and Grinkov, have done it. Regained the European Championship. But it's a 1-2-3 sweep for the Soviets. And Canadian skaters will perhaps be more concerned about this men's final than any other, because Kurt Browning, of course, is a world champion. We've got a great variety of skaters here in Europe this year.
Peter Barna is an excellent skater. The Czechoslovakian champion for many years, has competed in the European Championships. He's improved each time that we see him, but if ever there is a time for him to win, it should be tonight. The Soviet skater Viktor Petrenko is a wonderful athlete, a virtuoso, a strong competitor, and he is to be taken very seriously as well for a gold medal. The Polish boy Philippe is neither a great athlete nor a great artist, but he certainly knows how to compete, and he is very adept at skating warfare. Wet behind the ears, but a virtuoso with a capital V is the other Soviet skater, Zagorniak. Very young, inexperienced, a little immature, but certainly a star in the horizon.
Here's one of the exciting new breed in men's skating. 18-year-old from Colombes in France. Phillippe Candeloro, who's in 17th place after the compulsories. Magnificent start. Triple axel, double toe loop.
Incredible height he got on that triple axel.
And again another triple axel, so 2 triple axels in this original program. An amazing start for a young man in 17th place. Came here with a high reputation, was 4th in Junior Worlds in Colorado Springs. Twice French junior champion.
the jumps are fine, but the step sequence and the spins are a little weak, and the choreography certainly needs to be developed.
Well, it was some mixture of that, but I think you saw there some of the talent that could take this young man towards the very top. As Nicky said, the spins a little weak, but the jumps were fantastic when there's such height.
Absolutely, and skaters come out and you can see they either excel in one thing. It's much better at this stage that he's excelling in the technical side of things because it's time to develop the artistic characteristics within his program, but really there needs to be a lot of work on that. The arm movement's very weak and the general posture and presentation not that good.
But for a young man of 18 to go out there in his first European Championship, and here's the first triple axel, and then the double toe at the end of it. And Andre Brunet's trainer, you can see how delighted he is with that. A wonderful picture there.
And the triple axel is the hardest of all the triples to do. 3.5 times round in the air from a forward outside edge, landing on a backward outside edge. And then you have to be absolutely perfect to be able to do this second part of the combination.
Is the British champion. Enjoy it. So many people have said how difficult it will be at his first European Championship. 17 years old from Connors Quay, Stephen Cousins. And here's his combination coming up now. Triple lutz, double toe. And a slight stumble coming out of the triple lutz. I would imagine 0.2 deducted for that.
Good start having the triples at the start of the program. When you're fresh. Could do with being lower on the sit spins.
Double axel as clean as a whistle. And that was absolutely fine. What was good was that he showed that he was able to enjoy it. Over and above anything else, from 15th place, there is a chance that he'll move up. Not a great chance. And there the British contingent, they're delighted as well. Great start for his international career.
So I think what he needs overall now is better style, more speed. He'll know that, but he got that combination out of the way. It wasn't working in the warm-up, and he'd be delighted with his overall performance, I'm sure.
And the marks for the elements, not that good. 4.7 up to 4.4 up to 4.9. A little harsh.
Doesn't really matter about the marks, so he's got it under his belt. It's experience. Should be higher for presentation.
And they are 4.6 up to 5.1. I wouldn't imagine he'll be moving up from 15th place, but as you say, he looked positive there. I think he did himself proud, and he can move on from that to greater things. And here's the most exciting newcomer from the Soviet Union. From Odessa on the Black Sea, Vyacheslav Zagorodonyuk. Lying in 6th place after compulsories, but he too has a staggering performance if it goes right. And how about that for a start? Triple axel, double Toland. All the skaters I've spoken to say that this guy could be a future world champion. Sometimes a little erratic, that's his problem, but when he gets it right, my word, it's good. Triple axel.
And the speed with which he covers the ice, and the height and length and the jumps and the quality of them, set him right apart from most of the other skaters.
Won the World Junior Championships in Sarajevo just 15 months ago, and since then he's been marked out as the man to now watch. Double axel as easy as you like.
Fell off the jump spin a little.
The skaters are on their feet, but it fell apart a little at the end, both in the jump spin and the spin combination. And the judges may be severe then. Difficult task for them now. But what a prospect he is at 19.
Fine skating throughout. Here's one of those axel jumps. Triple axel, 3.5 times round in the air. Perfectly done.
And the marks for the elements, the best so far, 5.5 up to 5.8. So the judges chosen to ignore everything except perhaps the false landing on the jump spin. 5.5 up to 5.8. Comes from the same town as Viktor Petrenko. And very like him, and perhaps he's got even more promise. The presentation, 5.5 up to 5.8 a couple of times. He leads so far in the original program and is in 2nd place overall. And here's the man in 4th place after the compulsories from Czechoslovakia, 23-year-old Petr Bana. bronze medalist last year, Petra, in the European Championships in Birmingham, and 5th in Paris in the world. Good combination, triple Lutz, triple toe loop. Not the triple axel, but the triple toe at the end rather than the double toe. Just about level it up. Triple loop, he looks on great form. Amazingly, Petra competing in his 8th European Championship, and he's only 23 years old.
He's renowned for his choreography as well as his jumping. Last year, you'll remember, he was doing Mozart. This year, it's Panini. Perhaps this program not developed quite as much as last year's was, but it's a good start.
Wonderful to watch, superb choreography. How he didn't fall out of that jump spin, I'll never know. Smiles at the crowd, and they smile back. Petra Bana still right in the hunt for a medal.
Well, an excellent performance, but there's a lot more to come yet. I'm sure if he works on this program and develops it, particularly taking the presentation category.
And the marks for the elements, very strong indeed. 5.6. Just a couple of times up to 5.8. Polish judge marking him down, obviously with a mind on Filipowski, but otherwise they're very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.9s, and Bana takes the lead. And here's the hot favourite now in second place, but practically everyone's tipped to win. Olympic bronze medalist from the Soviet Union, Viktor Petrenko. And that, as you can see, double-footed on the landing of the triple axel, and that surely will be 0.4 off. Some of the judges will be loath to do that, but they have to down to the rule book. And Petrenko should be moving down rather than up. Landed that okay.
Well, all the time here he's been skating with the sureness of a champion, and he's got the big names of the world. He's already beaten them, but it just may be too much energy all pent up, got too much height on that first triple axel.
But just 3 years ago, we would have been amazed at people doing triple axels, even if they were slightly wrong. But now, they're almost commonplace. And Viktor Petrenko knows, although he's trying to raise a smile there, that he hasn't done himself justice. And that he's very likely to be moving down. And the marks for the elements, well, the judges have done what they're supposed to do, although 5.6 is amazing from the Pole and the Dutch judge. They would have given him 6 had they not made that deduction.
I think they'll try and hold him up on these marks.
Now for presentation, 5.6 up to 5.9, and they have done him a lot of favors. He drops to third in the original program, but stays second overall. But now it's Petrobana who leads going into the free. Point in this young man's life, 17 years old, and now his free program in front of 10,000 people, lying in 14th place at the moment. Stephen Cousins. Excellent form in the practice, both physically and mentally. Says he's going to go for 8 triples here. Double-footed out of that triple Lutz. Staggered round into the double toe. That's the most difficult part of his program over. Good there, though, on the double axel, triple toe loop combination. Triple Salchow. Excellent start for Stephen in this first minute. And a smile for the British contingent.
He looked very determined before he went on. And he's skating excellently.
Triple toe, number 4. on the triple flip. Just doubled out on that Lutz. Well, that's just about as good a performance in the European Championships that we've seen from a British skater for a long, long time. There's the British contingent. And there's Donna Gately with Eileen Anderson, the team manager. And they must be thrilled. Some happy faces there. Stephen Cousins has done the team and himself proud.
Excellent skating. The thing he's got to develop for Worlds now is projecting higher up into the crowd. He's still looking down. His eye line's too low. He's got to involve everybody of the 10,000 crowd so that they're all behind him.
He's popular with the young ladies in Leningrad as he is at home in Connors Quay in North Wales. The marks for technical merit, 4.5 from the Yugoslav up to 5.1.
And he needs to develop his style a little bit more to open up.
And for artistic impression, well, the Yugoslav judge didn't like it at all. Not as good as I think he'd have hoped for 4.8 up to a couple of 5.2. He's really split the judges here, and he should stay in around 14th, 15th place.
Entertainment element here because each one is completely unique.
17-year-old Vyacheslav Zagorodniak was second in the original program to move from 6th place in figures. He's from Odessa. We saw him win the 1988 World Junior Championship. He is certainly the future of Soviet male skating.
That was a superbly done triple axel with a triple toe loop just following, which he did not complete properly. But the triple axel was magnificent. Certainly, the jumping ability is on a very, very high and virtuoso level. In contrast to the more senior skaters like Petrenko and Barna, it is the in-betweens in the skating, the connecting steps that connect the jumps and the spins, that is the weak part. But this is because of his very young age and his immaturity. Another incredible triple axel. Choreographically a mistake because it was on the same spot on the ice. Nevertheless, extremely difficult and very high risk here. Gordeeva is the kind of skater that has yet to grow into his skin. That is to say, the jumps are all there, but the basic skating, the maturity, the elegance that one would see in a more mature skater is certainly not here. See, the spins are very, very weak, and this is perhaps best explained because of the tremendous strength it takes to do a triple axel. He has now completed 2, and the program has now become a little bit weak, which I attribute to immaturity and perhaps the big guns that went off at the beginning of his program. But now it's definitely on the weak side. This is almost sort of novice skating near the end of the program. Surely the artistic mark, which is the presentation, should be far, far lower than the technical mark. The program virtually died at the end, but a commendable performance and certainly the kind of skater that we are going to see for many years to come, because he will grow into the skating style that is not conspicuous at the moment.
First set of marks, 5.7 to 5.6. Then there's up to 2 5.8s, and the rest are 5.7s. Those are the highest marks we've seen yet, but remember there are still 4 more in this top group to come. Wait now for his second set of marks, and those seem to be so high that you're obviously right, Toller. His artistic marks will not be anywhere near as high, and they are not. 5.5, 5.7s being the highest marks, and not as many of them, though these are the highest marks that we have seen so far in the free skating for Zagorodniak. Highest marks that we have seen so far in the free skating for Zagorodniak.
5.5, 5.7, 5.6, 5.7, 5.6, 5.6. Thank you.
На старт приглашается Виктор Petrenko.
Viktor Petrenko still hasn't been able to put it all together since being the world junior champion back in 1984. Though he's only 20 years of age now. He's from Odessa with the same coach as Zagorodniak. He's close enough to do it here at last.
And interesting, Ted, after seeing so many competitions over the years, sometimes one detects a championship look on the warm-up that has nothing to do with the actual technique or ability of the skater. He has got that look tonight. I'm putting my money on him. I think he's going to win. That was by far the most difficult combination probably that exists in the world today. A brilliantly done triple axel followed by a triple toe loop. Triple-out. The beauty of this kind of skating is not even the quality of the jumps, which are sublime, but much rather the ability he is able to skate with strength and yet an almost casual approach to the skating. Only mature and very experienced skaters are able to skate in this way. Effortless and virtually perfect. Because of two frozen jumps just at the end of the last part, what he has got to do now to secure the title is to throw in at least one and probably two more triple jumps. There was one, a triple loop, a little bit shaky on the landing, but certainly back on track, and again, a top performance. Similar to Gordeeva at the end of the program. I think this is because of the tremendous difficulty at the beginning of the program. He is losing strength here. He has got to end in a very strong way, but it is certainly far stronger than his teammates at Gordeeva. Winding down for the final spin, the ending was definitely not at all the same quality as the beginning of the program, which was superb. It could be the winning program. The ending, however, allowed a loophole for somebody like Barna to creep in. Very, very good skating, however. Probably the best to date that he's done this year. It was not, however, as superb as his Olympic performance in Calgary. but very, very good and virtually flawless with the exception of a few double jumps that should have been triples.
Viktor Petrenko, of course, has the hopes of the Soviets resting on his young shoulders because the defending European champion Alexander Fadeev, who did come to Leningrad, withdrew 2 or 3 days before the competition got underway. Well, his first set of marks are coming out, and there is a 5.9 and another 5.9. He has a pair of them for technical merit from Denmark and from judge number 9, who is from Czechoslovakia. The first 5.9s that we have seen. Now, these are his technical marks. Surely he will also have 5.9s for his second set of marks, his artistic marks. Yes, now, here they are, and there's a 5.8, a 5.8, a 5.9 from Poland, a 5.9 from the Netherlands, a 5.9 from France. And those are the highest marks we have seen. He is, at the present time, in first place in the competition ahead of Zagorodniak, his teammate. Remember, though, that the Filipowski and Weiss skates are still to come. It's not over yet, but this could still be Viktor Petrenko's evening. And the men's competition will continue after this. Gregory Filipowski had his great moment, one long waited for, when he was third in the World Championships in Paris last year. He did not have a good original program here. He was fourth, where he now stands. He's only 23, but we've been watching him since he was 13 years of age in major competitions.
That was opening up with problem number 1, a triple axel that was not done properly, but much more than that, in direct contrast to Viktor Petrenko, the maturity and elegance and command of the ice is certainly not in evidence, and that we have not seen an improvement in that department from the time he has been 13, and that is his major problem. Immature skating, yet he is able to execute the most difficult jumps. But in this game, the complete package is the winning package. That was a very good combination of jumps, a triple flip, which is always a difficult one, followed by a triple toe loop. Problems for Gregory tonight. We've seen him complete 2 triple axels, but again, my problem with this skating is not the fact that there are a few jumps that are not landed properly, but much rather the fact that he is lacking in the elegance and the grace that we saw previously with Viktor Petrenko. This is rather immature skating, and one would expect much more from someone that is so experienced. certainly problems here tonight, but the problems are far deeper than what it might appear. There were very few spins, poor spins. The footwork and the connecting steps were far too simple for someone of his caliber. There was no sophistication to the program, there was no elegance, and if one were to mark it accurately, the artistic mark should be dramatically lower than the technical mark. But I don't think that will happen here, but I suspect that with this kind of performance in the World Championships in Halifax, which perhaps is more of an international competition, I don't believe this program would be held up.
He was silver medalist in Europe last year. Well, no, they did not hold him up. Certainly his first set of marks indicate that, with 5.4s, 5.6 being only the highest mark. And he is not going to be a silver medalist this year, that is for sure, with those marks, which he was in Birmingham last year behind only Alexander Fadeev. And this is going to drop him. Well, in this short program, he is going to be third so far. The long program, he's going to be third so far. Second set of marks. He does get 1.58 there from the Polish judge. He is, after all, skating from Poland. And a 5.7. But those are third place marks, and that drops him with Barna, who was the leader coming in still to skate. He has dropped down into third place right now. Certainly there won't be a silver medal, and for him any kind of a medal, I would think. Well, this is one of the big challenges that will face Canada's defending world champion Kurt Browning when we bring you the World Championships from Halifax. This is Peter Barna from Czechoslovakia, by far the best here in the original program, and that vaulted him into the lead. He was fourth in the figures.
Problems right off the top, Ted. I couldn't help but, as an ex-skater, and one always has a built-in kind of radar for these things, I sensed that it was not going to be his evening sorry, I was taken aback by that attempt at a quad. I sensed that he was going to have problems, and somehow the atmosphere, which was bright and electric for Petrenko, has kind of died here. He's going to have problems here tonight. Certainly we were hoping for a spectacular finish. He was the final skater in the competition, but I think that one can say in the very middle of the program, this is not going to be the winning performance. one can sort of digress for a moment and talk about Halifax. The winner in Halifax is the one that is not just brilliant in the short program and then a week long. It is going to be the skater that skates 2 perfect programs. That will be the title winner. Very difficult to do right at the end of the program, a series of split jumps with the triple jump. So very taxing for physical strength, but I can't help but feel that this is just not going to throw Viktor Petrenko off the podium. I think he'll probably end up second here, and even that would be kind of a gift because the program was wrought with many, many mistakes, and I think that the marks that he'll get, they'll be pretty generous. But it was not the kind of program that was really the 5.8 and 5.9 variety.
It's not the look of a winner, is it?
Well, Ted, he is a winner in that we saw him skate the short program, which is about as good as it could be. But this surely must have been a disappointing. But I think it's so important to say that often when the medal was within your grasp, it is more difficult than grabbing it at close proximity than it is in a long shot.
Well, he goes from 5.4 to 5.8 in his first set of marks. So it does not appear on the strength of that first set of marks that he'll be able to stay ahead of Viktor Petrenko. He should get up into second place. Here, the second set of marks down. There's a 5.8 from the Yugoslavian judge. What did the Czech judge give him, Wes? A 5.9 from the Czech judge, which is one of the highest marks we've seen. He is second in this, the free skating, but he has fallen behind Viktor Petrenko into the silver medal position. So it's Viktor Petrenko for the gold, and he's waited a long, long time for a major senior championship like this. Petra Barna for the silver medal, and Zagorodnik, the future, perhaps, of Soviet male skating, has the bronze. Filipowski in fourth place.
And here's the 18-year-old from Dresden in East Germany, a really exciting skater. She's fifth after the compulsory figures, Evelyn Grossman. Good start with a double axel, but she lost concentration. And how crucial that will be. She landed the jump okay. Now, will they take that out of the elements for the mark? If they do, it's half a mark out of it. Double toe, triple toe, terrific combination. But how will they mark that mistake?
The double axel was actually landed and was on a flowing edge long enough. I don't think they'll deduct for it.
It's a critical factor. Yesterday in the pairs, some did and some didn't on the short program. suddenly came into prominence last year when she was 7th in the Europeans, but was thought to have a real medal chance with Katarina Witt now gone. Well, that's comfortably the most exuberant performance we've seen this afternoon. There's Jutta Müller, her coach. Remember her with Katarina Witt. 5 times Katarina champion of Europe. And this girl has a chance now. How will the judges mark that crucial mistake coming out of the double axel? It all depends on that.
The costume is very much Frau Müller. She used to dress Katarina up to the nines, almost pushing the rules. There's very strong rules on costume, not being show costumes in competition. One of the things about the fall is that with skating last, she actually would possibly to catch a rut or a hole that somebody else has made.
There it is. There's the double axel. She lands it.
She's landed fine, and then it had just slipped away.
So takes the bouquets, but her mind will be very much focused on the scoreboard above us, and some agonizing seconds now.
The program itself just didn't seem to get going to me. I was expecting much more than that, much more excitement maybe. She's still not really, in my mind, good enough to get into Katarina's shoes. The fall again, it must have been a hole on the ice. She just relaxed after completing the jump.
And the marks are coming up on the scoreboard, and it looks like most of them have been keen. But you see, it's exactly as I thought. Some of them have taken the marks off for the element. The British judge has 5.1 and 5.1 from the Italian. Wendy Utley being a little severe, I think. Otherwise, it's 5.6 right across the board, apart from the 5.5 from the Swedish judge. They are good marks, and they'll be high for presentation. 5.5 up to 5.8. And Evelyn Grossman moves above Patricia Neske in 2nd place behind Lebedeva. So that's the challenge from Britain. We'll be back with her from Paris now, originally from Reunion near Madagascar. Silver medalist in the World Junior Championships, lying in 11th place at the moment, Surya Bonaly. Landed it, triple Lutz, double toe loop. A very difficult combination, so that's a fine start for this young girl. Double axel. This the girl who in the free program is aiming to do either a quadruple salcho or a quadruple toe loop. She'll be the first girl ever in competition to land them if she does so.
All the elements superbly done. She just pops into them, though, rather than the other girls who take time to prepare.
on the spin.
Just fell off it on the first part. Minimum of 6 rotations on all the spins.
Well, she'll lose 0.2 for the error on the spin, but that comfortably the best performance we've had so far. Last year, she was 17th after compulsories, moved up to 8th. Well, she started the original here in 11th. She'll be moving up, but how far? We'll have to wait and see. But certainly, you can see the delight on the audience, and she's a name to be reckoned with in the future. Maybe not a medalist this time, Surya Bonaly.
Well, the artistry was better than I've seen it before. Her style is still very clipped, and that's something that a lot of people are saying. Her actual basic skating is not very good. There she was popping about in the spin, trying to maintain balance and just holding on to it.
And the marks, Didier Gelhaget, the coach, looking up with her. 5.2 up to 5.5 for the elements. 5.2 from the British judge, went the Utley up to 5.5 4 times. 5 times, in fact, now for presentation. Ranging from 5.0, Wendy Utley marking right down for presentation, up to 5.5. Not as good as they might have been, but she's certainly moving into the top 10 and towards the top 5. Still just a tiny chance of a medal.
上位に入賞した選手たちの滑りをご覧いただきますが、まず西ドイツのマリナ・キールマン。もう世界の舞台も何回も経験しているこのキールマンですが、どういうふうに今年は世界選手権へ向けてこういう人たちが仕上げてくるか注目されますね。
そうですね。
最初のコンビネーションジャンプは非常に綺麗にまとめました。今年は西ドイツはライスナーが出てないんですね。
そうですね。やはり昨年の2位ですか、それをもっても引退したんじゃないんでしょうかね。
平松さん、このキールマンはジャンプ力、いわゆる技術点と芸術点比べてどっちが上なんでしょうか。
やはり彼女はジャンプは3回転トリプルを難しいのをこなしますけど、表現力の方はもう一つね、もう少し表現力があってもいいなと思いますけれど、これなんかトリプルの3回転のサルコーですね。
降りた後のまとめ方が非常に綺麗ですね。
そうですね。はい。非常に長身で足が長くて、綺麗なプロポーションなんですけれども、はい。ちょっと硬さがありますね、表現面で。
そうですね。
非常に女子にしては難しい3回転ジャンプですね。これも綺麗にまとめています。
今は手を上げて取りましたね。
同じジャンプのその2回転を対照的にリンクの向こうの端とこちらでっていう風な構成の仕方ですね。
ただどうですか、平松さん、この今の音楽に合わせた構成ということになると、もう少し弾んだ振り付けがあってもいいような気もしますが。
そうですね。それともう少し滑ってほしいっていうんですか、足が長いのをちょっとこう持って合わせてるような感じもしないでもないですね。
よく選手たちはスケートが滑るとか今日は滑らなかったとかっていうことを表現しますがね、ちょっとバランスを崩しかけましたが、よくここは持ちこたえました。 上げたいところですね。
そうですね。これは素晴らしいですね、このコンビネーション。
はい。
なかなかこれだけ続けてジャンプっていうのは難しいですから、はい、彼女独特のコンビネーションジャンプですね。
フリップはトリプルですね。先ほどのジャンプシークエンスはいわゆるループジャンプを連続してやったわけですね。はい、世界選手権も経験している西ドイツのマリナ・キールマンの滑りをご覧いただきました。評価としては、技術点も芸術点もまた後ほどご覧いただきますけれども、最高点が 5.6 というポイントが出るんですが、内容的にはどうですか？
内容的には非常に難しいものをたくさん織り込んでましたね。ですから、はい、彼女の場合はアーティスティックインプレッションの点数の方が少し下がるんじゃないかと思います。
これが技術点ですね。はい、さすがに西ドイツが 5.6 を出しているんですが、今度は芸術点をご覧いただきましょう。やはりちょっとコンマ2ぐらいずつ下がってますね。
もう少しなんていうんですか、女性らしい華やかさ、そういう華やかな表現があってもいいんじゃないかと思いますね。
はい。さあ、東ドイツのグロスマンが登場してまいりました。なんといっても伊藤みどりの最大のライバルの一人と言ってもいいんではないかと思うんですが、ユッタ・ミラーさんの今年の振り付けがどういうふうにこのグロスマンを変身させているでしょうか。最初のアクセルはちょっと
ダブルのはずなんですけれどね、
やはり失敗ジャンプなんでしょうね。
空中でも動きを完全に危ないのでシングルに変えちゃいましたね。
綺麗なレイバックスピンですが、その前の動きなどはやはり、ユッタ・ミラーさんの教え子の先輩たちの流れを組んでますね。
そうですね。で、彼女も1年で随分大人びたって言いますか、こういう表現面なんかでも良くなったようですね。
はい。これはもったいないですね。
これも本当は3回転なんでしょう。
綺麗に出てましたね。はい。
いですね。ああいうところで高いコンテンツのトリプルなんかが入りますとやはり引き締まるわけですね、演技自体が。
なるほどね。去年に比べてやや優雅さといいますか、ゆったりとした動きが出てきたような気がしますかね。
そうですね。そして軽やかな音楽に乗っての表現っていうんですか、可愛い明るい表現、そういうのはやはり彼女の良さって言いますか、特徴と言ってもいいと思いますね。
カタリナ・ビットさんの持っている優雅さというのはまだまだ望んでも無理かもわかりませんけれども、次第に何かそういうものに近づく手応えを感じているような。
そうですね。
はい。ただイギリスが 5.0 というのはちょっとポイントとしてはどうですか、低すぎますが、5.7 が最高ですね。東ドイツのグロスマンの演技をご覧いただきました。
Here's 17-year-old Surya Bonaly, the 1991 World Junior Champion from France. Bonaly second after the original program. Notice her hair. Surya has not cut her hair since her birth.
To open with. Surya came to figure skating quite late, her background being gymnastics and tumbling, hence her wonderful ability to rotate practically every triple jump. And a triple Lutz and a double toe loop.
She's obviously most comfortable in the air, but what is glaring is her inability to skate, simply to move around the ice.
Triple flip, and just squeezed out that landing. The body position is very bad coming out of that.
Bonaly was born on Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean. She and her family now live in Paris. Surya, by the way, comes from the Hindi word sun. She started this long program in second place and provides the French with a bright moment indeed, for she will become the first French woman ever to win the European Senior Championship. Performance was good enough to win the European Championship.
Well, I think it says something about the state, certainly of the European ladies skating. But I hopefully would think that with Surya now taking this title, that she would maybe find what is missing. And I think most of that is going to be the choreography and a certain quality to her skating that will help her win a major world title.
She's only 17 and she has loads of natural talent.
If you were her coach, Sandra, what would be your game plan?
I'd like to see her stop jumping for 6 months and learn to skate.
Triple triple toe loop combination extremely difficult, in fact maybe even rarely seen in a men's event. The second triple toe loop not quite there, but it's certainly a gutsy move to try.
Surya Bonaly wins her first major championship and the first French woman to ever win the European title, all to the delight of coach Didier Gallagher. At this point, in the lead was Germany's Evelyn.
成功するといいですね。
そうですね。さあ、そしてソビエトから次第次第に世界の上位へ食い込もうというレベデーワです。今の折り方を見てますと膝が非常にこう柔軟性があっていいですね。
非常に彼女は綺麗なスケーティングをするんですね。ですからジャンプが全部ミスなく降りますと本当に素晴らしいフリースケーティングをするんですけれども。
はい。
ですね。
この人の滑りにはいわゆるこう優雅な気品みたいなものがありますからスローパートが映えますね。
そうですね。
これも
ちょっとミスが多すぎますね。
そうですね。前半から中盤にかけてちょっとジャンプのミスが目立ちます。
やはり正確に、技をこなすということがテクニカルメリットの大きな要因の一つですから、やはりちょっとミスが多すぎますね。
はい。これは持ちこたえました。今がちょっと危なかったですけどね。 齢も25歳ともう本当に円熟の域に達しつつありますこのレベデーワの滑りをご覧いただきました。ご覧のように女子はグロスマンが優勝、レベデーワが2位、キールマンが3位に入って、いよいよこれから世界選手権へ向けての調整が始まっているところだろうと思います。
Of ice magic, creativity knows no bounds as the skating stars of Europe celebrate a gala.
Figure Skating Championships. This is the second largest scene of the 1990 European Figure Skating Championships. There have been huge crowds at every competitive session. We're expecting the largest crowd of the European Figure Skating Championship week here in Leningrad for the gala, the exhibition by the champions. And I think, among other things, it's a chance for people to prove a point, perhaps.
Well, you're right, particularly if they did not skate well in the competition. It is a chance for them to sort of reassert themselves in the eyes of the judges and the eyes of the people. It's also a chance, interestingly enough, to act as a professional audition. There are many representatives from professional shows all over the world. They're looking at the skaters, they're seeing who's hot, who's not, and they're making their bids on them for the future. It's a very important exhibition. It has to be taken very seriously, but it's also exciting and entertaining.
Soviet skaters won 8 of the total of 12 medals in Leningrad in 1990, including 2 of the men's skating medals, and the men's gold medalist, Viktor Petrenko, who finally reached the height we'd all been expecting him to reach since he won a World Junior Championship as a 16-year-old.
After Viktor's convincing win here in Leningrad, one might have thought that Kurt Browning would have had big trouble in Halifax. It was Viktor who had the trouble, but not without a tremendous battle. Viktor is a war machine and is a perennial threat to any competitor at any time.
The world champions, the reigning Olympic champions, and now once again the ice pairs champions of Europe, Ekaterina Gordeeva and Surya Grinkov.
champions Gordeeva Grinkov on paper had a brilliant career in 1990 with a big win here in Leningrad and a gold at the Worlds in Halifax. Their winning performances were tarnished and wrought with mistakes. 2 weeks ago, they surprised the skating world by changing teachers and turning professional. Let's wish them well and hope that their pro careers are as brilliant as their amateur careers.
Gregor Filipowski of Poland had a disappointing time in Leningrad. In 1989, he was European silver medalist. 1990, he dropped out of the medals into 4th place.
Gregor's bid to win here was unsuccessful, and although his world performance in Halifax was much stronger, he lost his coveted bronze medal to Christopher Bowman of the U.S. Another disappointment for Filipowski was at the Goodwill Games, where he withdrew in the middle of the competition. Hopefully, in 1991, we will see his best skating performances ever.
They're national champions, skating an exhibition to New York, New York. They were 4th in ice dancing here.
New York, New York, it's a hell of a town. You
Clara and Attila have always been favorites with the international public and media. A medal here eluded them as a result of the Duchesnays' electrifying breakthrough. Clara had an injury at the World Championships in Halifax and the team withdrew. They also withdrew from the Goodwill Games in Seattle. 1991, a new season, a new beginning. Good luck to both of them.
So the last two have won the European Championship far more than anybody else. Most recently, of course, the reign of Katharina Witt. And now her coach, Frau Müller, has produced yet another, Evelyn Grossman of East Germany, the new European Ladies Champion.
Grossman was not expected to win here in Leningrad, but like so many East German world champions, Seifert, Pötsch, and Witt, she is perhaps just fulfilling her own personal destiny. Injured at the Worlds in Halifax, she did not skate well and placed accordingly. With the recent unification of the two Germanys, will this East German skater become this year's German champion? We'll find out at the European Championships in Bulgaria.
The Soviet Union's domination of European pair skating continued in Leningrad in 1990. The silver medal in pairs went to Larisa Seletsneva and Oleg Makarov.
Let me be, 'cause you don't care. Well, please set me free. Unchain my heart. Unchain my heart. 'Cause you don't love me. Unchain my heart, set me free.
Zelezhneva Makarov are perhaps, no, not perhaps, they are the strongest individual pair skaters in the world. Their skating style has always had a hard edge to it, unlike the more refined style of Gordeeva Grinkov. At the Worlds in Halifax, they skated their best, yet placed a disappointing fourth. This was to be their last amateur competition, but I am sure we will continue to enjoy them for many more years as professionals.
Katerina Gordeeva and Sergei Grinkov passed the crew test of champions in Leningrad when they had to come from behind, and they certainly did in a brilliant free skating exhibition to retain the European Championship that goes with their World and Olympic titles.
Tamara Tarasova, the famous Soviet coach and teacher of the recent Olympic champions Bestimanova Bukin, has now taken Gordeeva Grinkov under her tutelage. As professionals now, 1991 should become an inspiring, exciting year for them.
The women's silver medalist for the European Championships of 1990 from the Soviet Union, Natalia Lebedeva. You'll recognize the phantom music.
Soviets had hoped that Natalia Lebedeva would become their first European champion. As we know, she was unable to cash in on this very golden opportunity. I think that perhaps Natalia would be better suited to the professional world, where the tremendous pressure of competing does not have to be dealt with.
Swept the medals in Leningrad in 1990. The bronze medal going to this couple, Natalia Mishkatunyuk and Artyur Dmitriev.
With the recent retirement of Gordeeva Grinkov, it would seem that this pair will waste no time in jumping into their teammates' footsteps. Their original program, skated to Saint-Saëns the Swan, ranks for me among the most memorable skating performances ever. Coached by Tamara Mosvina, their new routines are bound to be interesting and unusual, and we will see them in February at the European Championships in Bulgaria.
Peter Barna of Czechoslovakia came within an ace of winning the men's championship in Europe in 1990. He didn't quite pull it off, but he is a delightful performer to watch.
Many skaters feel that doing very difficult triple jumps in exhibitions are the most important thing, when in fact what the audience really wants to see is their ability to skate, their ability to interpret music, and particularly their personal emotions that we can all enjoy. Varna's bad luck streak did not end in Leningrad, but continued right into the World Championships in Halifax. After a disastrous short program at the Worlds, he fought back with an absolutely superb and much underrated long program. Recently married, he is now living in Czechoslovakia, revving up for this year's competitive showdown.
Bangles and beads adorn the silver medalists of 1990 in ice dancing in the Soviet Union as the Soviets took first and second place. And these are the silver medalists, Maya Yusova and Alexander Zulin.
Yusova Zulin were forced to swallow the bitter pill of disappointment as Paul and Isabelle Duchesnays became the absolute sensation of this competition. The pill was especially bitter as it all happened in the Soviet Union, their own backyard. Recently, I saw them at the Goodwill Games in Seattle, and this couple has improved dramatically. And for me, at that competition at least, they were unbeatable.
The Soviet teenager will have many great moments in his career. He had his greatest so far here in Leningrad. He was men's bronze medalist, and his future is all ahead of him. Vaxislav Zagorodniak.
Vyacheslav Zagorniak, as Ted says, would seem to have a brilliant future ahead of him. At all three competitions, Europeans, Worlds, and the Goodwill Games in Seattle, his Achilles heel has always been his physical stamina. A remarkable talent. I look forward to seeing this year's improvement at the various competitions that we will see on CBC in the months to come.
A veteran pair, generally exciting show skaters, silver medalist in pairs in Leningrad, Seletsneva and Makarov.
This couple is so conspicuously physical about their approach to skating that I can't help but wonder if a career in gymnastics might not have been an alternative to that of skating.
Still the ice dancing champions of Europe, and that would have been the most predictable thing in Leningrad. Marina Klimova, Sergei Ponomarenko, they're starting a long way apart. There's a good look, though, at the delightful Marina Klimova as she skates to join her husband and her partner, Sergei Ponomarenko.
Marina and Sergei have a maturity and a refinement that sets them apart from all other skaters in the world. Their skating is best likened to that of a perfect rose in full bloom on a summer's day.
Viktor Petrenko succeeded to the European Men's Championship at last in 1990. I say at last because he seems to have been trying for a while, but he's only 20.
Viktor Petrenko is one of the many skaters that have been profoundly influenced by the flamboyant U.S. skating star Christopher Bowman. Of course, the Bowman influence is only seen in exhibition routines. Paul and Isabelle Duchesnays manufactured magic in Leningrad. We see it again as their competitive routine is used as an exhibition. When they skated it in the competition, I neglected to mention that the choreography is the identical choreography and was given to them as if a present by Christopher Dean. He and Jane, Christopher and Jane that is, do this particular number in their show, and so they were able to do it. But I think that the Duchesnays probably do it as well or better simply because they seem to look the part more. Two Argentinians from the theme of the movie Missing. This cannot be considered an exhibition number. because it is their competitive routine. The interesting thing to me that sets this number apart from all the others is the fact that the male's role is as dominant as the female's role. Often it's the female that takes the lead, and then as you see, Paul will go into the lead and is sometimes even lifted by his sister. This is quite a different approach to ice dancing as we know it. Again, thinking about it as in competitive terms, the interesting thing and the criticism, legitimate or not, is the fact that many people felt that it wasn't ice dancing. It wasn't ice dancing in the traditional sense, ice dancing the way that we know it. That was the criticism, and you can see that is perhaps true when both skaters skate apart from each other the way that they do. But the effect is invariably electric.
Paul and Isabelle Duchesnays. You'll hear the thunderous applause that they're receiving here in Leningrad. And I might tell you that during the award presentations, when they won their bronze medal, while two Soviet couples won gold and silver, the Duchesnays received a much larger ovation when their medals were put around their necks than did either of the Soviet dance couples.
And that kind of ovation brought them immediately back for an encore. It was a wonderful week of skating in Leningrad, but some skaters, Gordeeva, for example, will not be skating in the next year's competition. But the key skaters certainly will. Klimova, Ponomarenko, Yusova Zulin, Viktor Petrenko, Peter Barna, and of course the Duchesnays. And we look forward to seeing these skaters and these wonderful performances in Sofia, Bulgaria, and Munich, Germany in the next coming year.
And our thanks to Ted and Toller, the World Junior